the sound of your sighs. If not here, then it is somewhere else in the world, where the rain don't shine unless it's reflected in the light of a barrel house moon, and the sun never breaks through the small clouds in your heart, girl. I remember the last time that I saw you in that dress that made the bloodhounds bay. I knew you was something else, but I never knew what. Well, I was already out there, and I knew that I couldn't stay. And you told me your deepest secret, but I still forgot. I've got 100 mindless memories, and that's my curse. And you got a bookcase full of questions about stuff that's just too unreal. You were holding a dagger and a stopwatch, and I don't know which hurt me worst. I gave you all I had, but you still felt obliged to steal. Oh, we really needed a break, but one never seemed to come up. We had to stumble blind, and we didn't even know who we were. I saw you stare him in the eyes, say good morning and check his pulse. Well, that labyrinth charm couldn't prevent him from waking up with her. I took the easy route to your heart, but I still got lost. I had to count the cost that evening you rode off with my past. I made 15 grave mistakes, and all of them were down to you. All I wanted was a good night's sleep, but time went by so fast. Maybe I was born equal, but I'd rather have been born lucky. I wasn't paid to think too much, but I did, and that's what scared us both the most. The midwife did all she could for us, but it all still died of birth. So I've carved a heart in the dust of the tombstone where we laid the ghost. I drove you into town that evening, you were breaking down. You said call for me when I'm in hardship, oh, but I got delayed. I rode like an airwave cruiser, but you were under the bridge by the time I got there. You looked brave till you got to jail, and then you turned out a little girl so afraid. You were holding up well, but then the coroner came down and body searched you. You used your theory charm, but I could see that he wasn't impressed. I saved you a corner of my soul, and I hope that'll do. You reacted too soon, but I suppose it was for the best. I heard you talking to yourself, but I didn't like what you said. Maybe it didn't concern me too much, but I still felt involved. You had a lot of butterfly thoughts. I should have collected them up in a jar. Then we'd have had somewhere to look when this needed to be resolved. We had parallel points of view, but our attitude just wasn't the same. You could never orphan your mind in the way I did. And your son brought frankincense and myrrh, but your sister saw through his game. He said Pandora's box holds the gold, but we knew better than to lift that lid. We know where the problem lies, but getting there's a different thing. I can't wear the same clothes that I did in the old days. We took a fast cab into limbo and heard the purple wolf sing. I can ease your pain, but I can't change your ways. You know, I still think fondly about that trip we took to Tragedy Point, where the bottom line got drawn by the tide in sand. I was standing next to your reflection, trying to preserve what privacy you had left, but the stolen tapes turned up and it all got out of hand. I was seeing another new year in, and a bank vault of remorse. Extortion rears its head when bribery sleeps. I took your standing back to the desert where you were thrown off by your horse. After this flood subsides, we'll see how much dry land they'll let us keep. You still scream at night, and it pierces me right through to my soul. I used to know you once, but that's not you that I see now. We're just reading words that someone else is holding up on cards. There's nothing broken as easy as a lover's vow. You sent me a tear once and a letter, but it got to me too late to do any good. I was looking for something I could use right there and then. I wrote nobody on my passport. You said you'd get me a new one if you only could. I kept the truth in reserve, but I'll use it if you'll tell me when. We strolled in the Death Valley like the innocents that we were. We watched the wind roll by and we followed its trail to the end. And on the back lot of regret, we had to make a decision over who we preferred. You used your smile like a surgeon to cut through me, and so it was all pretend. I saw your picture in the paper one day. I was just browsing. Well, it looked like you, but some days it's pretty hard to tell. There's so many forgeries out there, you don't know who's for real and who ain't. But I still come running every time I hear you yell. I followed you down to New Jerusalem, where I picked up your trail in a strip joint by the sea. You were dressed like me, and I took it as a compliment. You were miming to the Declaration of Independence. Then your car pulled out of the back lot and nobody seemed to know where it went. I looked at the photos of that night we watched the Late Show in bed, when you said you'd be there, but only if I could commit. I didn't have any direction, I didn't then, and I sure don't just now. I've gotta close, it's true, but these days none of them fit. Well, the good times gotta be 20 years old before you can look back on them. So you can't remember how they was, or else you just crumble, stumble, burst in tears and fall. There's too many false doctors prescribing too much what they call medicine, and describing your dreams to whoever picks the phone up and calls. I dream about a decent car crash, I guess that everyone like me does, or a good disguise the mirror can't penetrate. I don't wanna be in the big top, being forced to do tricks no more, so I called you to come collect me. So what made you hesitate? We've both been past the end so many times. How come we manage still to survive? We've been resurrected more times than I can count. There's so much stashed in our wardrobes and none of it was contrived. Oh, but there's elevators on fire, baby, so I got to get out. Meet me at the water hole, that was a message that you left for me, but you never said which, and I was too damn weary to choose. When I woke up I was sweating, I had a dream that nobody should see, and you offered me a cure, knowing I could never refuse. And I remember you saying to me, oh, at least 100 times, nobody can live like you do, not even you. Well, I was determined to make it, but I got lost and I had to pay for my crimes. I was still trying to put things straight when the deal with you fell through. I suppose we've got a lot of possessions, for whatever that might be worth, but we'd be better off spending what's in our hearts, not in our purse. We're only here for a short time, but it's a lifetime nonetheless. I don't know whether that's a blessing or a curse. Everybody has immoral thoughts, there's nothing wrong in that. It's what you do about it that makes you the kind of person that you are. I'd like to know who you think about when you're in the desert and when your wheels go flat? Do you say sorry, or do you just go out like you did with me and steal a new car? I know fewer expressions you've tried to be nice in all the right places, but when it was you and me, those moments were few and far between. Can't really start regretting now we don't even have our real faces on. I saw you on that TV show, it's still the best thing I've ever seen. And a lot of evil gets done in the name of love and charity. People hide behind both of them like shields to do their evil deeds. When you're 90 seconds from touchdown, it's a good time to start believing. It's too late then to start considering other people who need someone for you a mountain so you'd have a place to hide. But when things got rough, and when the comfort was a thing of your past, but you were stranded on the Salt Lakes, mapping out your pride, playing the part of somebody when you weren't even in the cast. People dream of making money, yeah, but mainly they just make mistakes. They vainly try to put the blame in another place. There's rules about such things, but the rule makers are all such fakes. While they're smiling like you, they're sneering at me on their second face, yeah. Running a temperature for quite some time now, but I get the cold shivers still every time you walk in the room. I don't know which part of you is me or which part of me is you. But I've been suffering for so long now. I greed like the fatted cow, prodigal son, witnessing my own doom. When I asked you when you were sleeping last night, do we know what the truth is anymore? You never answered. Maybe it wouldn't be even if you could. Oh, but this ain't our lane we're traveling in. I know that for sure. If we've got somewhere else to go, then I think we should. After all this time, I think we've become about 13 other people. Our skin might look the same, but that's just about all. There's too many emotions hidden in the storeroom now. It's like a war horn in a battle you don't move till you hear it call. Where are those guys who threw stones in the lake that June, saying they'll never take us? I'll tell you, they're working for the corporation just like you, just like all the rest. They never got those poems done or those paintings they never wrote. Those songs they laid down and died, kept selling out until they both had nothing left. It was all a pantomime then, but it's a lot more sinister now. The whole damn thing went bad and it's left us with nowhere to run. There's no vacancies left at the Dream Factory. It's been closed, but the Hotel Oblivion's got rooms for everyone, you know. It's pretty easy to be scathing in this cynical day and age. You just prick your target, load, take aim and fire. Oh, the emergency phones are always out and the truth is so hard to gauge. Like the bikini test results, it just gets dribbled down the line by a lie or something. Always always drew us back, but now it's drawing us apart. The same force that keeps us together will destroy us if we don't take care. We see too much in soft focus, and real life's the best place to start. But by the time we reached it, well, it was no longer there. They tell you don't build castles out of sand, but they truly miss the point. I'd rather have a thing of beauty for a day than something ugly for a year. They can animate a heart, but they can't make it feel. Build electronic eyes, but they can't make one shed a tear. They show you into the system, yeah, they say come in, but then they make you check your free will at the door, saying you won't that no more. We look after you from here on in. They give you a rule book and a set of laws just so you know the score. Yeah, we were gonna fight it. We didn't know where or how we should begin. One time when you weren't thinking, you said I always keep an alibi in reserve. Well, it's getting late. It might be a good idea for us to use it if that's alright. There's some heavy burdens we're bearing more than we deserve. It used to be a game, but now it's turned into a fatal fight. I was reading a book in my sleep, well, just recently. People are so presumptuous, they think they know us, but they really don't. They quote us, and the only people in the room were you and me. You said they wouldn't fire on a flag of truth, but I'm not so certain that they won't. I always wondered who you'd turn to. It's either gonna be death or God. I wish I'd have been there to witness it either way. Oh, there were no suspicious circumstances, and it struck me as rather odd. Was it wisdom or ignorance? Nobody seemed to have anything to say. I was always kind of a tyrant when it came to matters of the heart. I never loved myself, so how was I supposed to love you? I could have had it made, but it was easier to tear it apart. I was in a knot that was too tight for anybody, even you to undo. Well, we both could be outrageous if you could be kind of proud of that. If we could have been more courageous, we might have made it. Who knows? Now I'm wearing recriminations like an old sailor wears his regimental hat. Do nostalgia and self-hatred mix? Let's see how it goes. I wish you could have stuck around longer. I'd like to see how this movie ends, but there are no stars, just rejects from an out-of-town play. We've been inside each other, and now we can't even be friends.